Welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Brandon. Colton's computer was having some issues today, so we're going to just look at this deck tech instead. So please bear with us as we manage to work on those. So we're looking at a budget slime deck today. Let's start off right now with an overview, looking at all of the cards in the deck profile all at once. With that, we're going to transition then into what is the expectations for this deck. Really straightforward with this budget deck. Level 0 is all about getting the level 1 combo. So all of the pieces are trying to help move forward towards that end. Level 1, get that combo to mill into the next deck. You should be able to mill through quite a bit with this combo. You should be able to get resources into hand, as well as kind of pay attention to that stock level as you're using it. Level 2, kind of same idea as level 0, getting level 3 pieces into hand, whether trying to loop the combo from level 1 or trying to stock gen. You have options here at level 2 to get the pieces you need for the level 3 game, which is then intended to burn for win, taking advantage of burn ones to try to close out the game. So looking at level 0 as an overall picture here, we're running with the yellow Brainstormer because it's a budget deck, as well as this allows you to mill through your deck a little bit more fully, so you can kind of get through as much as you need to in your deck. Along with that, we have the Head of Monsters Rimuru, which allows you to, this is your Jerry, when it goes to waiting room, discard a card, look at the top 4, choose one level 1 or higher. So you're able to, again, keep moving through that deck, getting the level 1 combo into hand. We have the Oversize here. We have the Milim that allows you to be able to essentially stay a 4K. It does have the downside of when you attack, your opponent can pay 2 stock to prevent that from swinging. Specifically turn 1, this becomes a really good card because your opponent's not going to be able to deny this card if you're the first one swinging, so you have that option there too. We have the Drop Search, pretty straightforward with that. Drop a card to search out what you need. We have the Climax Swapper, so we are able to get our level 1 Climax ready. We also have Rimuru Tempest, so we can discard some Climaxes to be able to turn those into characters, as well as Hand Filter. Looking at level 1, we have our level 1 combo, which allows us to look at 4, choose 1. We have our level 1 Ramorous, which allows us to bring cost 0 cards from waiting room back onto stage, and at the end of turn, send them to memory if they're still around. We have our back row Potions Making Rimuru, so we can stock gen or heal depending on what we need. We have the on reverse blind stock when we use an act ability Rimuru, as well as the Elemental Colossus, which allows us to get up to 7/5 on attack during our turn. Also something we can spawn from Ramorous. So we have some different options here, some different looks and faces depending on what we're seeing to get the pieces we need, as well as the 2K counter to try to keep some stuff on field depending on what we're looking at. Next up, level 2s. We have this trial deck Aaron that allows us to be able to get global power to try to help keep some of the stuff relevant into level 2, as well as when Climax is placed to grant additional power. Same kind of thing, trying to help keep that board relevant moving forward. We also have the back row assist to level 3s, which allows us to then draw and ditch a card. These kind of take on the similar role, so realistically this 2K assist level 3 is really more of a tech option in addition to the 2-1, because it allows us to be able to boost our end game a little bit higher for our clock kicks, which we're going to need. Because as we look at level 3, our combo is heal on play, and then on attack burn 1, very similar to the Trouble Girl from Haruhi. With that, we also run the Milim, which allows us to, on play, reveal the top card if it's a character, burn 1, and then we can then, when your opponent becomes reversed, pay 3 clock kick. So we have a couple different looks to be able to burn instances of 1 or clock kick 1 to try to close out the end game. So as we look at this piece from an objective standpoint, we see, again, kind of the idea of how do we move through this deck. It's a very straightforward deck. You're getting your level 1 combo, you're getting a level 3 combo. and you're relying on those combos to move through the game and try to win. As if from a competitive standpoint, this is a budget deck, so this is more of a locals deck. This is a deck you bring to locals and say, hey, I just spent this amount of money, and this is how we can get there. With this budget deck, according to jktcg.com, this deck should be costed about $73.45. So with a budget deck, there's a low ceiling as to what this deck can do. However, this deck has tools to be able to potentially get that win. So this deck at least allows you to be able to compete without trying to spend the big bucks of trying to get the main meta deck builds. For example, this deck costs about as much as it would cost for you to get one of the level 1 pieces for the main build. So as we wrap up this deck, I want to let you know that we're still planning on having 5 cards, 5 minutes this Thursday, where we look at the uncommons, commons from Data Live. Next week, we're going back to another deck tech. This one's going to be Colton's deck. He's looking at another deck from Data Live, so be sure to keep an eye out for that one. And then we'll follow that up with gameplay that following Thursday. Hope this deck has been helpful. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, have a good one.